Senator Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham is quite a fellow. I'll just leave it there. He doesn't have the courage to call out Obamagate for what it is. Take a look at his outrage on the deep state and radical Dems' efforts to overthrow President Trump.
I find it unbelievable that the outgoing administration is surveilling the incoming administration. That is incredibly wrong, at the minimum, unethical.
Unethical, my goodness. Donald Trump Jr. tweeted about the senator's timid response, saying, quote, "We need more doers like Richard Grenell and a lot less talkers. We've got more than our share of talkers when you talk tough on TV every night, but do none of what you talk about. People do notice and lose patience. Enough BS. Do your jobs." Well said, Don. That's all I can say about that. The judiciary branch, as big a part of this corruption as any executive branch, agency, or department, Judge Emmett Sullivan wants to hear from outside legal groups before ruling on whether to drop charges against General Michael Flynn. Flynn's attorney, Sidney Powell, says Judge Sullivan has denied any filings by outside parties 24 times. That is, until the government moved to dismiss the case. She says that we all know exactly where this is coming from. To guide us through this, joining us tonight is Sidney Powell, former federal prosecutor and defense attorney for none other than General Flynn. Sidney, great to have you with us. Your comments, as usual, are spot on, and you identify much of the issue. This is to see these names. These are some of the top officials of only missing is President Obama's, frankly, when you go through the list of the White House. This is stunning stuff. You had to be even surprised the vice president, the chief of staff of the White House, are on that list.
Well, actually, no, Lou. Unfortunately, I was not surprised. There are some names I wasn't expecting because it goes a lot more broadly than I realized, like people in the Treasury Department and all of that. But what I find particularly interesting is we have to look back at April 2015 when Sally Yates came into the Department of Justice. That's only a month after Mr. Trump announced his intention to seek the presidency. She immediately shut out the Inspector General from the National Security Division of the Department of Justice. And then, as I mentioned last night, before Loretta Lynch left office, around the middle of December, she and Clapper greatly expanded the reach of the intel community's daily briefings to a lot more people. If you put those in the timeline of the unmaskings and the Strzok Page text messages, it puts a lot of pieces of the puzzle together.
This flurry, 15th and 16 December 2016, we saw a lot of bizarre reporting based on, obviously, intelligence sources during that time. But to see this flurry from, as you say, broadly across the administration, we had ambassadors, we had the UN ambassador, the chief of staff, for crying out loud. Their interest in this was fevered. It's inexplicable to me that so many people would be contemporaneously asking for an unmasking, which is a rare behavior for any public official, even in outside the intelligence agencies.
Yes, to put that in perspective, in his entire 33 years in the military, including as head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, General Flynn only unmasked one American, and that was because he was talking to a Middle Eastern terrorist in the Middle East at the time. And this entire scenario is absolutely atrocious. It's criminal. The more they found that General Flynn was innocent of anything, the more evidence the FBI came across that exonerated him of anything, the harder they worked to set him up for whatever they could make up against him, including all of the unmaskings that you see and how widely it went.
Well, it's so broad
And they intensified
so many
the smear campaign.
requests at the same time. Absolutely.
Yes.
But to broadly...
Yes, and that's when they started escalating the
feverishly...
smear campaign.
Right. And to so broadly and feverishly deepen this request for unmasking of General Flynn. It makes it I mean, it's on its face. It is political. It is driven purely by politics. It's extraordinary. Your thoughts about why the judge is not reacting to this instead of a dog whistle from a former president, and suddenly Judge Sullivan is a friend of Friends of the Court briefs.
Well, of course, this is just broken. I haven't even had a chance to study it all myself. Hopefully the judge will see what is actually going on here and respond accordingly. There are all kinds of legal issues that are raised by the order that he entered yesterday requesting brief of amici, and we intend to address those fully in whatever forum is most appropriate.
What forum can you anticipate? Judge Sullivan is looking foolish here, as well as incompetent, because he has had a fraudulent case in front of him now for how many years? And he has not interceded and said to the prosecution, you're trying to defraud my court, and I take that personally. But that has not been his response. It has been to be complicit with the prosecutors in carrying out a travesty against General Flynn.
Well, it's been going on for 3 years now, as you know. It's only since last June that the truth has started coming to light with the filings our team has made. And I really thought that he of all people, who is the judicial hero of my book, License to Lie from 2014, would have gone and been very aggressive about the prosecution's Brady violations. But so far, he's adopted the government's position on everything, and that can't keep standing in light of all the Brady violations that are disclosed by the government within the last 10 days to 2 weeks. It's absolutely astonishing, and this only adds to that.
Can you discern anything other than a partisan political position for his actions in not taking the recommendation of the Department of Justice to drop the case against General Flynn?
I can't explain any legal basis for it right now.
Sidney Powell, as always, good to have you with us. Thanks, Sid. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lou.